Okay, you need to mail 3 items with the following weights: 6.51, 6.52, and 6.60 ounces. What is the average of these weights to the nearest hundredth of an ounce? Average is a special formula, and to do that, we're going to add up the quantities we're trying to average and divide by how many we added up. So in this case, we're going to add 6.51 plus 6.52 plus 6.60, and I'm dividing it by 3 since I added 3 different numbers up. Okay, of course I can use a calculator for this. I need to do the numerator first, and then I can divide by the denominator. 6.6 gives me 19.63 divided by 3, which will give me 6.543 repeating. And we need to round to the nearest hundredth of an ounce. These are, of course, going to be in ounces. So that's going to be 6.54 ounces. Okay, Riley went to a store with $40. He bought the following items, these 4 items, and sales tax also came to $226. So that's going to be in addition to these 4 items. How much does he have left over? Well, we just take $40 and subtract off all that he spent. He spent $145, $215, and finally the sales tax also comes off of that. And that'll give us a dollar amount in the end. So I'm going to use a calculator and string that all through together. And I get $12.58 as my answer. If for some reason we need to divide this or multiply by something that would make the decimal point longer, right, you would need to round the answer to 2 places past the decimal, since that's the cents. In this case, we don't have to do that. All right, Sarah receives 10 cents off per gallon of gas for every $100 she spends on groceries at this store in a certain month. So during October, she spent this much in groceries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and what's her gas discount for the month? So if she gets 10 cents off per gallon of gas for every $100 she spends, how many hundreds of dollars did she spend? Well, to do that, all we really need to do is just add up these quantities and see what we have. Using a calculator, going to add those all up. And I'm coming up with the total that she spent $296.61. And so how many hundreds of dollars did she spend? She spent $200. So she would get 20 cents off per gallon of gas that she buys. Now, a follow-up question that I see from this would be, well, if she had spent an extra, in this case, it would be what? $3.39. If she spent an extra $3.39, she would have gotten 10 cents more per gallon off of gas. And the question would be, does spending an extra $3.39 give you a bigger discount on gas to where it covers that $3.39 cost? That depends on how much gas she will get. All right, Wendy looked over her past 6 months of water usage and got these following amounts, and each one of these amounts is in thousands of gallons. So it's not 19.9 gallons, it's 19.9 times 1,000, or 19,900 gallons of water in a one of the months that she was looking through. What is her average usage during these 6 months to 1 decimal place? So the average, once again, is just going to be adding them all up. And now we have them all added up, we can divide by how many there are. And of course, there are 6 months, so there's going to be 6 numbers there. So we're going to divide by 6. Okay, I'm doing that on a calculator. I am getting 136.3 divided by 6. So doing that, I get 22.716, and the 6 is just keep repeating. So rounding to 1 place gives me, and I'm going to use this approximation, that's what I should be using, because this is not going to be equal to my rounded answer. It's approximately equal. It's going to be 22.7 thousands of gallons, right? That's what the answer is going to be in. And why is this useful? Well, if she knows how much it's going to cost per thousandth of gallon, she can put this into her budget and estimate the cost it's going to be, so that she has a flat cost every single month to put towards her water bill for each month. Okay, Marty is confident that he can estimate his following purchases within 50 cents. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 purchases, and he estimates it to be $37. Is he within the 50-cent limit, and how could he have done this? Well, at first look here, it's not quite obvious how he can be so confident that he can get it within 50 cents. Maybe $1, maybe $2 you could be confident of, but 50 cents is kind of a small range. Let's actually see if he's within that 50-cent limit. So let's go ahead and add these up. Okay, adding these up on my calculator, I get 36.83. And he is within 17 cents of his estimate. So yes, he is within the 50-cent limit. And how could he have done this? Well, if we estimate these numbers just by flat rounding, right? This is going to round down to 1. This is going to round down to 2. I'm just rounding to the nearest dollar. This is going to round up to 6, then 9, then 6, then 13. And we can add them going across, right? 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 6 is 9, plus 9 is 18, plus 6 is 24, plus 13 is 37. So that is kind of how he rounds. But how can he be so confident that he's within 50 cents? Like, you could see this, well, if you round these numbers, right, you're taking off 25 cents here, 4 cents, you're adding on about 40 cents there, adding on 20 cents there, taking off 10, adding on $1 or a penny there. How can you be so certain that within 50 cents? Well, if you look at the approximate amounts that we're taking off and adding on, we can see that we're really close to 37, and we're not going to be far from it. So let's take a look at that. Here, if we round down to 1, we're going to be taking off 25 cents. But here, we're going to round up to 9, which means we're going to be adding on approximately 25 cents, right? It's 19 cents. But the taking off 25 and the adding on 19 kind of cancel each other out. So that's about 0. It's 6 cents, but it's approximately 0. Okay, here we are adding on about 40 cents. And then here we're going to be taking off about, about 20 cents approximately. And then this one right here, this is pretty much nothing. It's just a penny on there. So I'm just going to ignore that part. But we're taking off about, we're adding on about 40 cents to go from 5.62 to 6. And we're taking off about 2 and 12. That's 16, but it's closer to like 20. So if we're adding on 40, we're taking off 20. That means we're adding on about 20 cents. So with this amount kind of canceling out, with this amount being about 20 cents, we could have said, well, maybe within 30 cents we'd be correct, but 50 cents is actually a more conservative estimate. But that's just an estimation technique that I wanted to show you. Henrietta earns $8.50 per hour for a 40-hour work week. She earns time and a half for overtime hours. And those, of course, are going to be hours over 40 in a week. She works the following hours in the week, in the weeks of March. 40, 50, 45, and 42. How much does she earn this month for the gross pay? We don't know how much she actually took home because we don't know her taxes or, insurance, whatever she pays. But what's her gross pay for these 4 weeks? Well, there's a couple ways you can think about this, but she's 40 hours, she makes $1.50. And for anything over 40, she's going to make time and a half, or 1.5 times her wage, which is 8.5. Was the same thing as 1.5 times 8.5, which is going to end up being, on the calculator, $12.75 per hour. For any hour over 40, not for all the 40 hours, right? The 40 hours, first 40 hours is $8.50. Anything over that is going to be this amount. So the question is how many hours did she work over 40 hours? Well, she didn't work any for the first week, but we can see here that she worked 10 hours over 40. We have 10 from the 50. She worked 5 hours over 40 from the 45, and she worked 2 more hours on the 42. So in total, she worked 17 overtime hours. She also worked 40, 40, 40, 40 of, 40 times 4, 40 times 4, or 160 normal hours. So in total, she worked 160 normal hours, 17 overtime hours in the month of March. So her total that she earned in the month of March is going to be 160 normal hours, and these are going to each one of these is going to earn her $8.50 per hour. We're going to add that on to the 17 overtime hours, and each one of these overtime hours earns her $12.75. And so this is her full gross paycheck for the month. Well, if she's getting paid once a month, this would be what would be on her paycheck. So 160 times 8.5 plus 17 times 12.75. And I'm getting 1,576 and 75 cents. That's going to be her gross pay for the month of March. Chris is making a gazebo. He needs, or he has a 13-foot long board that he needs cut into 5.3-inch pieces. How many can he cut? Well, first off, we have a 13-foot long board, and we need inch pieces. So we can't just divide 13 by 5.3 because 13 isn't in inches, it's in feet. So we first need to convert the feet to inches here of the board. And the way we can do that is that one foot has 12 inches. That's the conversion between 1 foot and inches. Well, if every foot has 12 inches, and that means if there's 13 feet, it's going to be 13 times 12 inches in that board. 13 times 12 gives us 156. This is how many inches he has in the board. And now we're asking how many 5.3-inch pieces can be cut from the 156-inch board. So 156 divided by 5.3 is going to give us 29.43396, and then it keeps kind of jumping around some. What I'm seeing here is there's going to be 29 full pieces. So 29 full pieces is how much he can cut. He doesn't really care about this extra stuff because he doesn't want that. He wants 5.3-inch pieces. That's our answer there. Glenn buys groceries once a week, and he spent the following amounts the past 5 weeks. So these fall amounts. Yep. Okay, what is the average amount he spent over this time frame? So maybe he could, budget for the next month, something like that. Well, to find the average, we just need to add them all up and divide by how many there are. Okay, adding that up on a calculator, I get 278.27 divided by 5. I get 55.654. Of course, this is a dollar amount, so we're going to round it 2 places. That's going to be $55.65. That's how much he spent on average for those past 5 weeks.